You are live.
On YouTube?
I think so.
Okay.
It tells me we are live.
I think we are. Maybe if everyone can hear us, can they give us a thumbs up or let us know?
It's kind of quiet. Oh, I have to do the recording too. That would help.
Okay. You are live. On YouTube?
That was a delay.
Okay. Yeah, there is a delay. And then just make sure your YouTube is muted also. If everyone can hear us, can they give us a thumbs up or let us know? Yes, they can hear us.
Okay.
Great.
Now I have to see where our mute is so I don't get that delay. Do you remember where that is?
Not on a PC, I'm sorry.
Oh boy.
Maybe up in the browser area to the top. Great. Thank you all for being patient while we tried to work through this. That was a delay. Yeah, there is a delay. And then just make sure your YouTube is muted also.
Yeah, and
if everyone can hear us, can they give us a thumbs up or let us know? Yes, they can hear us.
They is only a little frustrated because I can't not find the mute one on YouTube.
Maybe it's on the video itself too, where you can turn the volume down. Maybe up in the browser area to the top. Thank you all for being patient. Oh,
okay.
That worked.
I think I found it. Can you still hear me?
I can hear you perfectly.
Okay, that's what we need. Gosh. We're learning. We are learning.
For sure.
Yeah. Well, welcome everyone at our second health Q&A with Sarah from Virtuous Unicorns, and maybe her mom is here too.
Not this episode yet, but she will be coming soon.
Okay, we had some, we can call that technical difficulties, or we just call it, I had some computer challenges, which I shouldn't have because I've been for, 20 plus years on a computer. I should know it all. But even for me, after being sick for a long time, I pretty much had to relearn everything. And that was quite a challenge, but I got a long way in my healing process already. And well, again, everyone, welcome being here. We do our best to answer your questions. I still had quite a few from last week that we didn't get to. And we can start out with the one from Teresa. She talks about having a weight issue, and I know everything about weight issues, and I went through all the options to lose weight. Sometimes very successful, but never for long. And as we all know, all the people that have weight challenges, it always comes back more. Not fair, but that is how it goes. And she mentioned she even did the Atkins diet, so did I. So I was a vegan, and because of that diet, I was like, well, if that is the way to lose weight, then I go on the Atkins diet. Of course, I lost the weight, got all back. So she mentions that the Atkins diet and kept it off for quite some time, 8 years even. We did better than I did back then. But in the last 10 years, the weight has been coming back on, lack of exercise, poor food choices, and a variety of other excuses. Well, we don't really see it as excuses. You know, you have life and things happen. but it's always good when you realize it and you know you have to be get back on track. And for me, at I could say my age. I don't like to talk on my age, but I'm probably older than most people here, and forever 38.
Young at heart.
Absolutely, absolutely. And but that is where I had I didn't care about my weight anymore. It's like it is what it is, and it doesn't bother me that much. And of course, I didn't want to have it creeping up more than it was. But I could keep it around on, well, it was it anywhere between 200 and 250, and I'm 5'9". So I was doing, okay. It was like not that important. But then I started, when I met Dr. Morse, and I started to leave out, I was vegan then, to leave out also all the nuts and the seeds and the fats and the plant proteins and the shakes. And then I was like, oh my gosh, look at how my pants are fitting me. My jeans is pretty much falling off. And that is when I realized I'm losing weight and I'm not even doing anything specific for it. Not for the weight, it was just for my health. And I think that is the way that you have to go. It is it's about your health. It's not about just the weight is the problem. It is about your health. And I wouldn't worry about exercises because I don't. Oh yeah. Well, your children. I see now the time you had your children. They're probably out of the house, but you may have grandchildren. And I'm saying this because as a mom and grandmom, you're busy. You probably have a busy life. You are active. You're not sitting in a chair or a recliner for 12 hours a day and then go to bed. You get your exercises. So I wouldn't worry about more exercises, because if you do that, then all the energy goes to your exercises and not to your healing. And your body is always healing. It's not like, okay, I'm now going into a healing mode because I eat better. Your body always tries to heal, no matter what you put into it. It's only that sometimes it is like, okay, enough is enough. Here are some symptoms for you, so you can take better care of your health. And that is when you are alerted. It's like, oh gosh, I know I have to do something, but I would not worry about getting more exercises. It is, of course, if you don't want to get stiff. So if you don't do anything at all, then yeah, move around, do a little yoga, walk, stretch. Stretch is important. And do some breathing exercises. It all helps with the healing part of your body. And you will see the weight will just fly off. But, and I always have to say that, as long as even if you transition to all fruit and you would incorporate the fats, then yeah, you can gain weight again. I think I've mentioned it quite a few times, but at any time if I would eat a week, every day an avocado, I gain 10 pounds. To me, that just tells me my body is not done healing yet. Maybe once I feel, and that's, the journey is long, it doesn't matter to me, but that, eventually when my body is healed and the thyroid works adequately and, your GI tract is cleaned out and you can absorb all the nutrients that you need, you will eat less, and then you will, it will all go better, and you can eat a little bit more. So yeah, poor food choices, as what you mentioned, Teresa, that's always the issue. It's like, and that comes to other questions that relates to this is, how do you get to better food choices, especially in the wintertime, where a lot of the people I talk to and probably listen here, and also a few questions that I got, how do you do that in the middle of the winter? And even in the winter, local, there's always fruit. Even when you're up north, you will have your apples and pears. But in the stores and wherever I lived, if it was in a colder area or warm area, there are always apples, oranges, bananas, Berries, no, not so much. That is more seasonal, and they are not shipped in from who knows where. But oranges and the apples, the bananas, pears, not so much. I think that's always available, and lemons too. And my gosh, you can, if you can make a delicious smoothie with those fruits. And you still have, and I think pretty much every store has that. They have the organics frozen fruits. And I get my fruits from a company up in Maine. It's all organic. They're not the cheapest, because when you buy them at Whole Foods or even Walmart, they and probably Kroger and other stores, it's actually cheaper. But when you look online for organic frozen fruits, you find a lot, and look in the stores, and you make yourself a delicious smoothie. And not saying that, in a cold area, it's the best time to start your fruit regimens. But it's definitely better than keep eating meat, dairy, eggs, beans, the grains. But incorporate some better foods. Start your day with. I start my day with a liter of orange juice, and I sip that throughout probably 2 hours. And can you hold on a second? My husband is leaving for work, and I have to kiss him goodbye. Sorry, guys, had to do it. It's going to be gone for a few days.
No problem. That's important.
Where was I? Oh yeah, the frozen fruits. Your food choices. For me, it's starting my day with the orange juice, but it could be a smoothie. Replace another meal maybe with a smoothie, and have your for dinner, have your cooked meal that can be what is it? Sweet potatoes, steamed sweet potatoes. Or you can make the sweet potato fries, and what is that? What that called? The dry. There's help me here, Sarah.
The sweet potato fries, or which one?
Yeah, it is how you make them. You can fry it. Well, it's not really fry. It is with.
You can bake them or dehydrate them, or
no, that's not what I was looking for. You put it. It's like in a little. It's not like it's like an oven. And you can actually fry them without oils.
Oh, air fry.
See, why do I keep on forgetting that? Air fryer.
Yep.
And so you don't use any oils. You can have asparagus, like steamed asparagus. You can make a soup with all kinds of greens. So there are your warm foods for when you need it. But start leaving out the meat, and you don't have to leave it out all at once. It's 1 week for 2 weeks you stop eating meat, and then the next 2 weeks you leave out all the dairy. And all the dairy, yes, that means cheese and yogurts too. Hate to say it, but it's not good for you, and it's very addictive. So it's and if I would live up north, I would take the winter time to do that, to do your transition. There is no better time than the winter to transition to mostly fruit. I can say all fruit, but it is, let's say it's all raw and mostly fruit. And then, eventually you leave out the nuts and the seeds and the avocados. And by the time that your fresh fruit is abundant, even where you are, then your body is completely ready to go into a beautiful, fun detox. And it's going to be easier because you transition slowly.
Yes.
And now I'm quiet, so now you can say something, Sarah.
Yeah, I can actually go ahead and post the article that you wrote on the forum of the holistic health on the Freak Sense World website, and I can post that into the comments too for people to read.
Oh yeah, that works. And because more people have wrote about this, and I have to say, for everybody who is on a freaksenseworld.com and you go into holistic health, you have quite a few articles there under Toni's blog. And I have, for some of the articles, I have to give some credit to the person who wrote these articles. I don't even know his name, but his website is grapegate.com. It has a ton of information. And it's very helpful. I usually pick out the articles because they are for all the Dr. Morse practitioners to use freely, but we can also give out the website, and everybody can go there. So you can click on all the links and see what is out there. So that was the part about transitioning. And unless you have like a problem, disease, don't like the word diseases or to use it, then I would say I would go on all fruit ASAP, and then it's like, okay, you have the detox symptoms, then doesn't matter, because you want to get healthy faster. So in cases with cancers where your body is in really high acidosis, then I would say don't go slow, go fast, but only then if you have time to ease into it. And there's another thing to it when you go slow, is that you can easier make it a lifestyle. So once you leave the meat out, you don't leave it out for 2 months or 3 months and go back to what made you sick in the first place or have symptoms. You're going to leave it out forever. You're going to be a raw vegan, whole foods, healthy foods, and you don't go back to the cheeses and the yogurts and all that stuff, and eggs and beans and grains. So eventually you leave it all out. So this is going to be your new lifestyle. And if you do it slower, it's much, much easier. Because if you do it fast, then if you're really sick, then you know why you're doing it fast. But if not, and you jump into like a juice fast right away, then you're not going to feel so great. You can, the toxins are coming out, and you get headaches and stomach aches and whatever aches you can get. And then you blame it on the fruits and go back to what you were eating before. And I really would love to prevent that and show the right way to start detoxing. So I suggest don't fall for all these fast detox programs that promise you beautiful health. You have to listen to your body, and we are all at a different stage of our health, different ages, different backgrounds, different genetics, how healthy were our parents, how healthy are we? And yeah, another thing is that it's like your kids. If you have young children, I would definitely, get them on the same lifestyle with more fruits. And I know it's usually easier when your kids are young because they want to eat fruits. But when they're in their teens, no, not that much anymore. Maybe a few, and I applaud the parents that their kids are like that. But usually it's not that easy. So what can you add to it, Sarah?
Yeah, definitely the slow transition. That way you do kind of avoid some of the detox symptoms. But I pretty much just started out with just adding smoothies every day, and then sometimes replacing my meals with them. And then, I haven't had meat in so many years, so that was very easy for me. But the cheeses and breads are very hard, and pastas, but especially during the winter. But your body does change, and you start to crave that, and you don't really start to want the other stuff anymore.
That is actually it. I saw somebody mentioning in a group and saying that she always started the day with coffee because without coffee she could not get going. And she didn't eat her fruit first because then the coffee didn't taste so well. And I was like, I wish you had done that. Just eat the fruit first, then you do not want the coffee. Mm-hmm. And that is also for a big coffee drinker. I always say, start with the fruit first. You may not even like the coffee. So that is exactly how it's going.
And that is very true. And same with soda, same in coffee. I mean, they rank right up there, high for both on me. And I don't want them anymore. I crave like juices and fruits and especially grapes right now. So, yep.
Yeah, I wish I would crave it more. And I don't know if it's if I'm just too busy or lazy. Can I say that? I'm too lazy. No, I don't want to say that. But I love it when my husband is home and he prepares all the fruit, cuts them up in nice bite-sized pieces, and there you go.
Wonderful.
That always works beautifully. Okay, I had a question from John, and I have answered him already in email, but I do want to address it here too. A lot of people are asking, what kind of juicer should I use? So when I started with all the juicing, or a lot of juicing, probably 5-6 years ago, I had the cheap juicers. What is the name? La something. I think the gentleman, and he was one of the first people who came out with a juicer. Jack LaLanne or something?
Yes, Jack LaLanne.
Jack LaLanne, that is the name. That was my first juicer, and for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And of course, it leaves little juice and very wet pulp, so it's not working that great. But it worked, so that is what I started out with. So over the years, I was like, didn't have a lot of money, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to save up for these slow juicers, and they were like $500, $600, $700, and it was absolutely out of reach for me. So I moved on to a little better juicer, but still not the cold pressed juicer. So eventually, I think probably 4 or 5 years ago, I got smart and I started looking on Marketplace on Facebook, and what is the other one called? I forgot the name. Where you can find used stuff. Yeah. But anyway, I found a beautiful, still in a package, juicer that was always green star juicer, and always recommended best juicer. And yeah, you have good juice, a lot of juice, pretty dry pulp. But oh my gosh, it was horrendous in cleaning it and getting it, taking it apart, okay. Cleaning it and putting it back, it probably took me half an hour. And I found this one. This was normally like $600. I found it for $175. So I was pretty happy with it.
Wow. Yeah.
But it was not easy to clean. It was really not easy to clean. So I have actually 2 of them, and I had one. It works, but it doesn't have the container with it. And I'm like, I got that one actually for $50. And I was like, okay, that's good. I can give it away.
Yeah.
So then I found the Nama juicer. I had seen it online, and I think it was Fully Raw Christina that was using it. You think so?
Yeah, she does use that.
Yeah, so I saw it with her, and I was like, well, if she uses it, and I know she's an affiliate, so she makes money on getting it. But then again, you get actually a discount when you order it through her. Mm-hmm. So there's not a lot. If there is any money in it for her, it's definitely not a lot. So it's but I ordered it. And I think they had an option there that you could pay it in installments, which I did, and I got my juicer, and I absolutely love it. And it is the Nama juicer. So if you go to namawell.com, NAMAWELL.com, you see the juicer. Now, what I found the beauty of this juicer is they were only making one, and now they have 2, and I explain that in a few minutes. But I thought they put everything in that one juicer to make it perfect. And for me, they did. You just had to top where you had to cut up your fruit to put it in, and so it works beautifully, and it's so easy to clean. Within 5 minutes, taking it apart, cleaned it out, put it back together. And yeah, that was for me the most important thing. I needed a lot of juice, dry pulp, and it's very dry and absolutely easy to clean, because that is when you start using it every day. And otherwise, it is just when you think about, all the work that goes into it, you don't feel like doing it, you don't get your juice. So this was great. So recently, and they sell all over the world. So it's easy to get wherever you are. And I think even now, before Christmas, they have discounts. They always have some kind of a discount. So now they figured they could actually, the one that I already thought was perfect, they could perfect it even more. So they have another one where you can put in quite a lot of fruit together. So it's a bigger opening. You put it all in, close the lid, and I wouldn't use whole apples, but would still cut up the apples. But you can leave it in larger pieces. It's a little bit more expensive, but it works just as great. So when it comes to it, it's like those are absolutely the only, it's the only juice that I can recommend. And they have a long, very long warranty. I think it's over 10 years, or it's even 12 years now. And the Green Star was like 8 years. So now I still have my 2 Green Star juices that I will probably give them away to somebody who really, really needs it. And so we'll see, but that thing is heavy. So it still needs to be shipped unless you live nearby. So that was the part about the Nama juicer. And
That's
having a great juicer.
I've looked at them too.
I'm sorry?
That's good to hear that they're great, because I have looked at them too.
Yeah, I really could not recommend any other one. It's yeah. Because having the right tools, and that's for the craftsman, that is so important. And are we, in a way, we crafting our art of juices. And I to help the kidneys to start filtering. And that is one of my my big problems, because I've had kidney issues for pretty much my whole life, and they're very stubborn. And so I got a tip from our beautiful Magdalena White, one of the professors at Dr. Morse's naturopath school. And she said do a few days of parsley juicing. So like 2 to maybe 3 bunches of parsley, and you juice it, and then you drink it in the morning, and it helps your kidneys to filter. And the second day, lo and behold, it did a little, but it did. But don't keep doing it. Do it for a few days, and then for not for weeks, and then you can pick up a few days if your kidneys need a little bit more help. The reason I am saying this, of course, it has to be juiced in the Nama juicer. And it works like a charm. So I thought, okay, if I have all these that pulp from the parsley, I should be able to reuse that, and make in a salad dressing maybe. Well, when I really looked at it, it is really only the fibers. It's actually only the fibers of the parsley that is left, and you could barely cut it up. It was like a rope. So I got to throw that out, but it was very, very little left. So that was another tip on helping your kidneys to filter. Okay, the next question comes from, what is her name? Lori. And I did answer her already in email. But her question was, dark or liver spots on the skin, what is the best way to remove them? And then in a way, we actually get to, treatment. Should you treat what you see on the outside of the body? And there's actually only one question, and that is a big no. That's, you always work on the cause. Why do you have liver spots? Why do you have anything going on your skin? Now, liver spots already tells you, otherwise it wouldn't be called liver spots, that there is a weakness in the liver. So that is what you work on then. And it is It is always the diet. You always start with the diet. I wouldn't even say, oh, you need this or this herb and it will go away and it will strengthen the kidney. In a way, it may a little, because I have done that, like 10 years. I was on not only all kinds of supplements, but I've always been into herbs. So I took all kinds of herbs. Did it heal me? No, because I was still eating the same food I should not be eating. So, if you don't feel like going on a different lifestyle with your food choices, then I don't think whatever herbs you are going to take will make well, I would say a lot of difference, but will probably won't make any difference. It's always your diet always comes first. So there you go. Got to do it with that. The next question is from Sharon, and I answered her too in email already. She said it's off track a little, but she's getting very sick from vaccinated people. And central nervous system, the works, taking homemade HEQ, BCD, quercetin, and is very tired, is otherwise in great health. Would Dr. Morse have anything else he could recommend? Doesn't want to go to the hospital. No, none of us wants to go there. And what can be done? And it is like with everything, it's like, look at your diet. You can feel that you are in great health, but when you are getting easily sick from what is around you, your health is a little more on the weak side, and you really again have to look into your diet. When we are on an alkaline diet, a diet lifestyle, then our body is stronger and it can handle more. It's like when you have a cut or you break something, when you are on all fruit, you heal much, much faster. And it is amazing to experience that. So it is, we can look at any doctor online and all their advices, but if you don't change your diet, it's the HEQ and the alphabet supplement, they're not going to help you. It is really leave out the meat, the dairy, the eggs, grains, beans. Beans are not good food for us. So please try on going into more fruits. Do you have any experience with that, Sarah?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. The more we do take in of fruits, especially, orange juice has always been my favorite. So the more that I do take in, the less I see of anything really happening to me. And I don't know, when I'm more alkaline, I'm stronger in mind, spirit, and I feel like I am in health that way too. And it just, I don't know, it just doesn't seem to affect us much when you're alkaline.
Yeah, I haven't had any effect from the people around me. I don't know if it's a difference that I'm in Florida, but I live in a community where everybody else is vaccinated. Mm-hmm. And all I can say is, it is, the fruit is magic. It is the food that is meant for us. Charlie and Colleen will have at 2:00 today, we'll have a 3-hour show that is about the physiology and the food for humans. You know, what is meant for us to eat. And I've been getting, really, it's a really strong feeling is what is really meant for us. And I think I mentioned it the last time too, the beauty I realize now with the fruit that is growing. I have some fruit in pots. Where I live, they don't really allow you to plant all kinds of fruit trees around your house. Although we own the land here, but still they don't like that. So I figured, okay, then I'm going to put them in pots. Where there is, how do they say that? Where there is a will, there is a way. So that was my way.
That's right.
And I had this dragon fruit growing. I didn't have that plant for a long time, and it looks really scraggly and it's very little. And I was like, I don't know. And all of a sudden we noticed, my gosh, there is something growing on it. And dragon fruit, and it started coloring from the green to the red. And then I started reading upon it, and I had read that a fruit is ripe when you put your hand underneath it and it falls easily in your hands. You don't have to really, put any force in it to get it off the branch or wherever it's growing on, whatever it's called. This was a cactus, so I didn't want to touch that anyway. But and it was absolutely correct. You put your hand underneath it and touch it, and there it was, and it was ripe, and it was beautiful and sweet.
Yep. And that's the way it should be. We shouldn't be like ripping our fruits from the trees, because we definitely want to take care of them too, or the plants. And I believe almost everyone's probably done this with a tomato. When you go up to grab a tomato and it just basically falls off in your hand, that's when you know it exactly is ripe. And we have wild mulberry trees where I live. And when you go to get them, you just the slightest touch and they just fall into your hands, or a shake of it, just a slight shake, and they drop. And that is the best time to eat them.
Yeah, that is absolutely perfect, but it is also so beautiful. And all you need to do, you don't need a knife and fork. All you need to do is just, have your hand there, and it's ready for the tree or the bush to let it go and give it to you. And that is how I see it. It's meant for us. And it becomes clearer with every day I learn more about that. And I find it amazing and beautiful.
Yes.
And
that's how we can see color too, because we're supposed to see those colors, and we're supposed to be attracted to them, and we are.
And I had a small fig tree, and it had fruits on it. And I was like, okay, it's green, it's not ripe yet. And then the next day it was like, well, maybe tomorrow. And it was brown the next day. And I didn't have the time then to go out. And the day after, it had burst open. And then the next day it would fall off, and then the critters can get it. So I still had a chance. It was already burst open, but I could still eat it. So there is a very short time of when it is perfect to eat.
Yep. Oh yeah.
So I absolutely, I start liking it more and more, and it's amazing. Okay, there was one question, or well, it says questions about this nonsense from Doreen, and I decided I'm not going to answer that because that was not a pleasant email. I don't know why it was a long email, 2 pages. Why she felt the need to write things that were nonsense. So, and we got into the topic of this email was shedding symptoms from Sharon with a Y. And let me see. Oh, I did answer her already, but we see what is all there. Okay. I mostly juice and have an avocado each day. I drink a potassium broth and vegetables. No meat, no dairy, no eggs. Spend a lot of time watching Charlie's videos and Dr. Morse. Been on a lymphatic cleanse for over a week. Did 3 days juice rest. Whoa. I stopped with most of my thyroid meds because I'm using L-tyrosine selenium for thyroid support. Well, we don't really need all that. There are better ways. She mentioned she had a broken neck. Wow. That included temporary leg paralysis. Difficulty walking, and what can we do? I shortened, I don't need to read everything. But her worries is actually mostly about the shedding of the vaccines. And again, all that we can do, because we still don't know exactly what is going on. We know that a lot is not good, and I even have to be careful with what I'm saying. And I think for all the people here, they have pretty much read everything under the sun that is available, and know as much as I do. I can only say that make sure your body can handle as much as is thrown at you. And that goes for all kinds of toxins that we cannot avoid, like in the air. We cannot avoid what we breathe, even if you stay in the house, and you have an air conditioner and you have the best filters that you can think of, like I do. I have great filters, but I'm still breathing in the air. You cannot stop it. So what you can do is make your body as strong as it can be. And that really is the only thing. And we do have a formula that is actually, it's called the Chem Metal Detox. And but with some people, we need to strengthen the nervous system. And that can all be done, but it always means get the kidneys to filter, the lymph to flow, and get the toxins out of your body. So it can handle more. And that's all we can do. I honestly, I don't believe in any pharmaceuticals. And I have a problem believing that a worm, pill would help with flu symptoms. I'm not there yet. I'm not there to accept that would work, but it's a lot of people believe it works for them, and then it will. So that's the great thing about it. Can you add anything to that, Sarah?
No, I 100% believe just make your body as strong as you can. And again, yes, you can definitely do that all with food, but don't forget, your breathing really does play a big part of that. And your mental state does too. So meditations, Buddha breathing or belly breathing, and definitely getting your fruits in, your fruit juices, and even some water.
Yeah, the water is good to help you get the toxins out. We will, once we get alkaline, we will get to a point that if we keep eating the high fruit way, then and we get a lot of the juices in, there is less need for water. But until we get there, we definitely need the water. You may feel you don't need them, and I did. I thought, I was on all fruit. And I didn't even think about drinking water. I wasn't thirsty at all. I had my apple juice, my watermelon juice, or watermelons, the berries, the oranges, and my gosh, I got my 2-3 liters of juices. So I was like, I'm good. And then I got constipation, and I still, because I'm not healed yet. I'm still detoxing. So I still need to get the junk out and the kidneys to filter well. And it was the constipation. The water helps your GI tract. It's a mover. It helps you move things through your body. So it also helps with getting the toxins out. I have another one, and I have been back and forth with her. I think that is Rose. Yes, he mentioned that her whole existence has been rooted in falsehood. And isn't that just the case? Isn't that for all of us? Isn't that, kind of amazing? But aren't you happy that you discovered what you discovered and now realize what the real truth is, and that we have been lied about everything? Every little food that's been pushed upon us, like the 50s, drink more milk. That started already in the 50s, and even as an adult, I saw it. You need milk. And then it was the cigarettes are good for you. And even going further back, was it the 20s or something, or even further back than that, how good cocaine was for your health?
Mm-hmm.
The most amazing things. And now it is fulvic acid, plant food, that should heal you. Well, it doesn't. It's plant food. And the keto diets that eventually, will be, it's taxing your kidneys to the max, and you get other problems. But yeah, you may feel good for months, maybe a year even, and then you go back to where you were and a little bit worse. That happened to me too, because of course I did the keto. Who didn't? You know, the keto, from keto to medical medium, we've been all of there. And I do see people, a lot of people who combine a variety of modalities. You know, they pick something they like or that fit in their lifestyle, because that's usually the case. You know, if I tell them you should not eat cooked food, if you want to heal, because on cooked food, you get dehydration, you feel tired, you feel bloated, and you're not healing. It stops your detoxing. But medical medium, you know, has all kinds of cooked food in it and a lot of supplements. But then you pick part of the fruit from what I do, from Dr. Morse, and then you pick the cooked food that medical medium has, and then, well, maybe the meat from keto, because that works. Well, I can tell you now, it doesn't. If you want to go on, I have been completely 100% on medical medium for 18 months, and I was sicker than ever. And a lot of what he is teaching is absolutely great. And that was get away from the meats, get away from the eggs, and get away from the dairy. So that was my start. So it was a good start. And actually it was good to use it as a transition. But then you have to get away from it, because for me, it was the nuts and seeds. I ate a lot of nuts and seeds. You know, they were in sauces, in bread, in crackers, in the pasta, what is it, the nut butters. Delicious. And yeah, I had the tools to make those nut butters. Absolutely great. Not healthy, not healing at all. So we have to go and what is really, really the food for us. Leave all these protocols that you come across, leave them behind and think what is really food meant for us. And the more, I've been with Dr. Morse now for close in January, it's going to be 3 years. And the more I learn from him in what I do myself with fruit, the more it is clear what is really the food meant for us. And if you are afraid, like, no, we can never get back to the other food, never eat a pizza again, I won't stop you. I mean, your body may say, like, no, we don't want that junk anymore. We're cleaning up. It's no time for that kind of food. I had it with a gluten-free vegan pizza, no tomatoes on it, because I knew cooked tomatoes were very acidic. Well, I had 3.5 days of severe kidney pain. It didn't worry me because I know what it was. So it's no running to the GR, like, oh my gosh, I have this pain, and now what? And it's a lower back pain. It's my lower back or the kidneys, and could barely move, and very, very painful. And exactly 3.5 days, and it was gone, completely gone. And that only because I ate a gluten-free vegan pizza. It was that simple. But isn't that amazing? And it can, I've heard other people that were always eating avocados and then being a violent fruit, and they ate an avocado and they had a stomach pain. And this is like, you know, your body telling you, I cleaned up, you know, why are you putting this in me? You don't want it.
Mm-hmm. We just need to get back in line with listening to our bodies. We have just suppressed them so much. And the more clean you eat, the more signals your body will send you. Like if you haven't had ice cream or dairy in a while, and then you try to eat some of that, how many of us would have to run to the bathroom almost right away?
It is so funny that you say that now, because I know somebody really, really close to me who had that problem, and I didn't even, I forgot to ask him, did you have ice cream? Now I know.
Exactly.
Thank you for reminding me of that. Yeah. Suzanne had a question that was, can I juice and or eat the fruit? And my answer is, you can do both. You can eat, you can juice the fruits. And is one better than the other? No, not really. It's I would not start out with only juices. I would start out with eating the fruit, and then you can just incorporate a few juice days. And if you like it and it feels good, then you juice a little bit longer, and then you have a week that you eat the fruit again. So, and it's also with the amounts of fruits. Do you eat until you're full? Well, full, then you had a little bit too much. If you have that feeling of full, you need to have the feeling of satisfied, and then not add another little piece. We tend to do that with, I know I do, with cooked foods. And you ate till you're full, and you wait half an hour, and you want more. I've never had that on all fruit. Isn't that amazing?
Mm-hmm.
Another question from her was, can I do a fruitarian diet if I'm a diabetic? And that is a big, big, big yes, specifically with type 2. With type 1, there's a little bit more to it because you're usually on insulin and you cannot stop your insulin all of a sudden. Type 2, I've had a few clients who are on insulin, but it's just transitioning to more fruit, and then you see you need less and less insulin until you don't need anything anymore.
Yep.
And if I have the nerve to eat those darn avocados, then yeah, my blood sugar goes up.
And as you have worked with my family, so my stepdad is diabetic, but we did speak with his doctor a couple days ago, and they are starting to lower his insulin already.
There you go.
So it does work. But you also got to be careful sometimes too, because it went very fast for him in the beginning. So definitely talk with your doctor, and especially if you are on the insulin, because his sugars did get pretty low. But once we backed off his insulin, he was fine, and still is right now.
Yeah, you have, because when you are a diabetic, you have a tester. And that is, and when you start changing your diet, you have to constantly, you have to test. There's just no other way to do it safely. I've never used any insulin or any medication for it. So for me, it was easier, and it doesn't go too low. But yeah, if you are on insulin, it is testing. And what can happen, and I found that too, that you test in the afternoon and you had already a whole bunch of fruit, and then all of a sudden you see that your readings are kind of on the high side. Do you know that it actually happens with people who do not even have diabetes? It fluctuates, it goes up and down. Mm-hmm. I had this weird occurrence that, when I woke up and I tested it, and it was high, and after I ate fruit, it was low. And it was just, things were messed up for a few weeks, and then it balanced out. No, it's good. Now, there is a lot of the questions are, what am I going to eat when and I addressed this several times before, but it's always good to repeat it and remind people, is what am I eating when I go out, when I want to go to a restaurant? And I don't know what it is. I like going to restaurants. I don't know. I'm sitting there, not alone, of course, but with my husband, and we talk and, eat and talk a little bit more. And we always talk in the car and in at home. It doesn't matter. But there's something about going out. I don't know what it is. And I come from a culture where going out to a restaurant was not, you only did that to celebrate, otherwise you didn't go there because you didn't feel like cooking, or like what you see a lot here in the United States, people go for every meal, go out to a restaurant. It was something special. So I still do like it. But okay, the question is, what do you eat if you are in a restaurant? Well, every restaurant nowadays, they have salads. And yeah, it's not organic, we know that, but the only thing that we have to look at is the dressing. Now, you can take your own dressing, you just sneak that in. I've done it. So, but if you have a dressing, you can always add for a lemon, and don't use the dressings they have there, because they often have yogurt and cheese in it and lots of oils. And you don't want to do oils when you're detoxing. But at least when you eat a salad, you don't even slow down or stop your detox. So you're still good. And if you're transitioning, or, after you're detoxing and you want to go out, you can eat steamed vegetables. And I don't think it is that bad if you have some cooked or grilled veggies. And every restaurant I have been in, they have all kinds of sides, and you just order the sides. That's possible. You don't need to order a whole meal. If you have 2 sides, you have a whole meal. Mm-hmm. So, that works.
Yes. And I was going to say about that too, in some of our local areas, some of the salads are, I guess we were asking, do you drench them in oil? Because the salads are worse than, say, a plate of French fries. But some places will also have a sweet potato. And like you said, too, the steamed vegetables or applesauce, maybe just those kinds of things. But the other thing you can do, too, is eat before you go. Are you going to that restaurant for the food, or are you going to that restaurant because you want to be there with the people that are going to be there? So sometimes you can just eat before you go and then just get some small little sides there.
Yeah, and even when with more people, nobody ever said anything when I brought my own smoothie in. Nobody said anything. I was just like, yeah, I'm on a diet. And that I didn't order anything. It doesn't matter to the restaurants. You know, they're easy enough.
Mm-hmm.
I'm done with the questions that were sent in, unless I got some new ones that I haven't seen, but I'm going to the chat right now.
Yeah.
Somebody is asking what to eat and not to eat for optimal teeth health. It is the same as any of the foods. I found that when I am on all fruit and I don't eat any fats or proteins, I don't need to brush my teeth. Now, I've had from a young age as a teen, my teeth were not great. They have never been great. And so I can't say that I'm in a stage where my teeth are getting better already. I have to more healing, detoxing and healing to do. When your body is healthy, then your teeth are healthy. And what you want to do is always make sure that your mouth is in a slightly alkaline state. And that means the citrus is fine as long as afterwards rinse your mouth with a little water. Instead of brushing, you can, if you are still eating proteins and fats, yes, you may need to brush. I would not flush. That is not healthy, as opposite of what you have been told. It is not that healthy for your gums. And you can brush your teeth with a little bit of baking soda because it's a little harsh. Mint, Dr. Morse has a great gum powder. Charlie has published some in, well, Sarah, you had a whole, 2-hour show about that. Actually, I should have you answer that question.
Well, no, you're doing an excellent job. And I did post the link to that show in the comments trying to answer him, but that fruits are just best, and be very careful with flossing. We should truly only floss when there is something in your teeth, but keeping in mind that is if you're a fruit eater. If you're eating meat and you got that stuck in your teeth, that's just going to rot in your teeth. So you definitely want to get that out. But everything else that Toni is saying is 100% true. And your teeth can grow back. They can heal. Your gums can heal. It's just amazing.
A lot, yeah. Everything can heal. I'm still waiting for my some back teeth to grow back. The roots are still there, so it is possible.
Well, we still don't know how long it takes, but
probably 20 years. I don't know, but we're gonna live a lot longer,
Yes.
So if we're meant to be here, we will be here.
That's
so
right.
It's yeah. And I see that Bridget is on her 70th raw detox week. Amazing. You're doing great. That's so beautiful. And then I see Mindy in Indiana. Much family heritage from the Netherlands. I believe you said you are from there. I was talking to somebody recently. They said, "You're from the Netherlands, aren't you?" I can hear that. I was like, "No, I didn't think it was. You could still hear it, but I guess you can." Yeah. Mindy also mentioned my mucus is from coffee. Couldn't figure out what was causing it. Also, best user to buy. Well, we went over that already. Nama. Even if you type in Nama juicer, you'll get to the right website, but it is Nama Well.
Yes, and I did put that link in the chat also.
Yeah. And for everybody who is on afreaksensworld.com, if you're not there yet, please do go there. We have a whole holistic section there. And under holistic health, you find resources. It has a ton of link with a lot of information. And about vitamins and the supplements and many other things. And let me see, yeah, my mucus is from coffee. Yeah, it's I haven't had it for, oh my gosh, I think it's now more than 5 years, close to 10 years even. And I was a coffee drinker. My body instantly resonated with no dairy or meat. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that absolutely beautiful that you can feel what it does, if you don't eat it anymore, how you feel. And then you not even realized how bad it was, what you were doing. So she also mentioned, not trying to be a comment hawk, no, you're not. Does bloody type correlate with foods? Yeah, whole books have been written about it. I would say no. We all have the same chemistry in our body. I mean, if you're a type O or type AB, it doesn't matter that you have to eat different foods. They tell me for a blood type O, I need to eat meat. No, I don't. Meat is acidic. It's always acidic. It doesn't matter what blood type you are. It is a nice thing what they come up with. And yes, of course, I have the book. I had to have it. I thought maybe that is where I find my answers. I didn't. There were no answers there. Let me see what else is there. Oh yeah, Mindy, I would love to talk with you. I think I have in the show notes how you can set up a meeting with me. And I will always, before we talk, I will always need the health questionnaire. And it has, then I know all the symptoms that you have. And it's not that we only talk about your health, we talk about anything and everything. And then you can schedule a call and you just figure out what is the best time for you in day and time. And those times, they will show up in your time zone. So that works very nice. And it says a 60-minute session. Well, I've never had, rarely had 60-minute sessions. They're usually an hour and a half, 2.5 hours, 3 hours even. And that is okay. We talk about whatever is needed that we talk about. So that can be, it can be the food, it can be what's happening in your life. It doesn't matter. We can talk about anything. I have been asked many times, what do you charge? I don't charge. I don't like asking for the money. It doesn't mean that I should work for free. Colleen explained to me, Toni, it doesn't work that way. It has to be an energy exchange. Well, money is energy. What I do is energy. So yeah, donations are always welcome, very welcome. And at this point, my husband is still working and I have the luxury to whatever comes in as donations, I can pay it forward. So this means that I use that to buy herbal formulas for people who can absolutely not afford it. And that's my way of paying things forward.
Yes, Toni is very generous, and you're very generous with your time and your information.
I think it's just trusting that I will be provided for. So, as long as I have a roof over my head and I have food in my fridge and I can feed my kitties. And that is a sad thing this morning that I had to do. I have a cat rescue and I had to euthanize one of my very, very special cats. And very unexpected, actually. And this was a cat that was outside for about a year. And one day he just walked in and he needed to be fixed so bad. So I was like, thank you. And he had an appointment with the vet the next day. And that was that of his manlyhood. It had to be done. I wish we wouldn't have to do that. But we don't want more cats roaming around in areas where they are not wanted and suffer. And so he was this cat that was always little, keeping his distance. But we never tried to, oh, we want the cat on our lap. We let them do whenever they are ready. And in the last year, he was so ready to be cuddled. And I had never hear him purr. And even all those years that he came close to me and even sitting on my lap, he never wanted to get close to my face. And the last half year, he was all over me, always cuddling. But the last weeks he was going downhill, and they didn't know if he had cancer or a big abscess. And they said, you're looking at many, many thousands of dollars and a lot of pain even for the cat. And I would never do chemo for a cat.
Right.
And and we talked about that before, Sarah, about talking about cats.
Yeah.
And I think we should do that because I had to let another cat cross the rainbow also 2 weeks ago. So my cat rescue or sanctuary actually has gotten a little smaller. And it is all about the food.
Yep. Yeah, 100%. Let's definitely do that. And, I lost mine of 18 years last week also. And they're so special to us. And I know that we all love a cat, a dog, a horse, a goat, a pig, whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. And the sad thing is, Sammy was only 6 years old.
Oh, that's
he was a very young cat. He was a big orange cat. And beautiful, very sweet, very, soft, never. Yeah, he didn't meow. He wasn't talkative, but he was always there.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
So that was very, very unexpected. And then you are like, and you look at it, only the tests were $1,800. And I was like, that is not really, you get the money when you need it. Because I was actually getting there. I am provided for. So when it was needed, I would be able to come up with that money. But on the other hand, what are you doing to the cats? What is happening to him? All these treatments, aggressive treatments he was talking about. And it made me think about 2 months ago, he had an abscess and he was I have a little rascal as a cat here. And he likes to chase other cats and he can be quite mean. So he had bitten my Sammy in his belly and it became an abscess. And he was on antibiotics. So I am against antibiotics, but all the other things I had tried didn't work. And then you still get to the point, I wouldn't do it even for myself, and I did it for the cats. It's like, everything else that I tried, with cleaning and the raw food, he didn't heal, and it got worse, and he was in pain. And so we had to do something. And we didn't even know that it was a bite wound that got really, really bad. And so he got the antibiotics. And my husband this morning said maybe that was his downfall. He's going downhill. Yep. And it could be because when I think back over the years, all the times that a cat had something and he was put on antibiotics before we knew what it really was, there has not been one cat that survived it more than 3 months.
Yeah.
So
we can get into all that and talk about diet. Maybe we can, start learning more about that and spreading those words too for everyone.
Yes, Mindy, I see that you have more issues that we should definitely talk about. So send me that health questionnaire and set up a booking. I would love to talk to you. And I see that you practice Reiki on the cats. Beautiful. Yeah, this cat, he went easily. I mean, at the vet, we was in an emergency clinic very early this morning. And this time we had a beautiful, very sweet doctor there. So it wasn't an easy going, but it's always difficult.
Yep, no matter how many, it still feels very painful.
Yeah, It is.
Mhm.
I'm gonna check email, see if there were any,
Great.
what is it, any more questions coming in, because I think we're coming up on the hour. I
Yes.
think we're over an hour by now.
Yeah, from the time when it took us to get on. Well, I was going to say about the cats too. Don't the cats purr at like 432 hertz or something like that? So they can heal themselves with their purr and they can also help us heal too. Do you know anything about that?
No, I don't. I have not heard about that. That's absolutely interesting.
Something I'll definitely look into.
And of course, this time I cannot get to my other account because I'm on a different browser to get this whole computer thing working. And I found out it wasn't the computer. It was just something with the Zoom and the YouTube connection that refused to work the way it should. And so we now know we cannot set it up as a recurring meeting.
Yep.
As the way we did it now was a lot easier. Okay, here we go. See if there's anything is there. Almost there, guys. No, don't have no questions there. So then I would say we end this. I would love to hear from, email. You can email to healthywithfruit@gmail.com. And I still have a few emails from last time I would like to answer personally too. So we can get into a little bit more detail and personal details. And yeah, we go from there.
That sounds great. And all of Toni's links of how to fill out the health questionnaire and to send the email to have one of your questions possibly answered on the show are all in the show notes below on the YouTube channel.
Well, thank you everyone for being here. And I would say till the next time, thank you for being here. Bye-bye.
Thank you.